My name's Chris Jr., and this is how I got my first cybersecurity job within 8 weeks. Wait until the end and I'll give you a couple free resources that'll help you fast track your cybersecurity journey and break into the field. So we'll start off with a little bit of a backstory. I was a DoorDash driver prior to my cybersecurity career, and I also mowed lawns on the side. I was someone who quit things very easily. If something was slightly difficult or hard, or I wasn't immediately good at it, I would just quit and completely forget about it. I had absolutely no direction in life, and I was definitely holding myself back from success and furthering myself in a lot of ways. I was extremely poor and had no money, and I was really just looking for a change. The thing I wanted most out of life was to be able to travel and work at the same time so I didn't have to worry about money, because I really wanted to experience the world and see things I never saw before. So right around this time when I was trying to make a change and I was tired of being a quitter, I told myself I'm no longer going to quit. I'm going to put my nose to the ground and I'm going to grind something out and I'm going to become a master at something. So then after I decided I was going to stop being a quitter, the question was, what am I going to do next? And that's when I came across the field of cybersecurity. I heard you can work remote, make good money, and kind of have that freedom of location that I was looking for. So now I just needed to figure out how to get into the field as fast as humanly possible, because again, I was tired of being poor, I was tired of working dead-end jobs, and I was tired of being a quitter. So that's when I stumbled upon this school called Western Governors University, and I will say this school completely changed my life. This school is completely self-paced online school. It's accredited. It comes with 15 cybersecurity certificates that are worldwide recognized by the field. So it doesn't matter if you live in the United States or Japan, these certificates are recognized and make you way more hireable versus people that do not have these certificates. If you go to WGU's website and look at their Cybersecurity Information Assurance Bachelor's program, you can actually see all the certificates you're going to get while you're at the school, which there's a ton of them. And I can tell you firsthand, once you're in the field and you're graduated, you're going to have more certificates than most professionals do in their whole entire life. One of the major reasons I really decided to go to this school is because when I was researching, I found a lot of posts on Reddit where people were graduating in under 6 months, again, with a degree and all these certificates that make you very hireable. Now, that's not to say this is a super easy degree plan or it's a super easy path, but it can be fast. You're just going to have to put in the time. I was studying anywhere between 14 to 16 hours a day. So anyways, I enrolled into the school and I had to wait about 4 or 5 weeks to actually begin my classes. So while I was waiting, I decided I was going to start applying to cybersecurity jobs with no degree, experience, or certificates to just try to see what I can get and maybe get a job. So while I was waiting to start WGU, I probably submitted around 1,000 applications, but I had an absolutely terrible resume and I had no help or direction. I only received rejection letters, or often I was just completely ghosted by the company I was applying for. So since I wasn't getting any traction, I decided to reach out to professionals in the field, send them my resume, and ask them for advice. And I did that on LinkedIn. All I did was open the LinkedIn app, search cybersecurity, and I added every single person I possibly could within the field. They helped me craft a better resume, which eventually did get me a job. And again, if you wait until the end, I will show you a resume template and give it to you and kind of show you how to use it. So I applied to WGU. I waited 4 weeks. So I was spending almost every single second of every day applying to jobs while I was waiting for my degree plan to start. And even though I didn't get any traction, again, I did learn a lot because I ended up building a better resume for when I actually did have some certificates that I could put on there to help me get a job. So once my term began at WGU, which again was about 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks after I applied, I started going through the coursework and obtaining certificates that again are recognized worldwide by the industry that'll help you get a job. So fast forward another 4 weeks after I started the school, I ended up getting my A+ certificate, Network Plus certificate, and the Security Plus certificate from CompTIA. And keep in mind, as I was getting these certificates, I was adding them to this new resume that the cybersecurity professionals helped me craft, and I constantly was applying. I never stopped doing that because I really did need a job. I was, again, very poor and struggling to pay the things that I needed to pay for. For example, when I got the A+ certificate, my resume had the A+ certificate and I was applying for it. When I got the Net Plus, I added it to my resume, kept applying. And then when I got the Sec Plus, the Security Plus, I added it to my resume and continued to apply. And then once I had all 3 of those certificates and was still applying, one job actually did reach back out to me, which at that point I put in well over 1,000 applications. And 5 interviews later at this company, they offered me a job. The job paid me about $80,000 a year. I was at a hybrid work environment, so I wasn't able to travel full time like I wanted to, but it did help me later pivot into a role where I was allowed to do that. But it didn't matter. I finally had my foot in the door in the industry, and I was making $80,000 a year. And my life at that very moment changed forever. I finally was out of poverty and was able to support and sustain myself. So again, this company hired me with no degree, no experience, only those 3 certificates I mentioned, which was the A+, Network Plus, and the Security Plus. So about 6 weeks after I got the job offer, which was only 4 weeks after I started the school, so 10 weeks total, I actually graduated WGU with a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and information assurance. So at that point, I was getting experience, I had a degree, and I had a whole bunch of certificates. So the combination of all these things helped me pivot into a bigger and better job that was fully remote about 8 months after I started my very first job. So while I did graduate within 10 weeks, I want to emphasize that this is not an easy path. It can be fast, and it is easier than the traditional 4-year plan, but I was studying 14 to 16 hours a day. I did nothing but study cybersecurity every single second of every day. It didn't matter if I was taking a shit, showering, driving, cooking, eating. I was listening to cybersecurity videos, I was watching content, I was taking notes, whatever I could possibly do to be studying literally every second of my life that I was awake. I was making sure that I was doing that. Again, I want to emphasize when I began my journey, I had absolutely no background in IT or cybersecurity. I was just a broke kid with a dream. So now I'll give you some good resources you can use to fast track your cybersecurity career. So the first thing I highly recommend is joining my Discord. There's over 16,000 cybersecurity students in there. There are a ton of people that are graduating in 6 months or less and getting really good jobs. So just to give you a quick overview of my Discord server and to show you how to use it, once you're in here, I highly recommend reading the FAQ because I give you a step-by-step guide on exactly how you can break into the cybersecurity industry fast, at least in my experience. And again, this is not easy. It takes a lot of hours per day, but it can be quick. So once you read the FAQ and you scroll through all this, you're going to be a lot more knowledgeable about what I did, about what happened, and about how you can do it too. So the next thing I want to show you is there's actually a bachelor's course guide for WGU's cybersecurity program. And we have resources for every single class. So it's a very collaborative server. Everyone's giving each other tips on how they passed quickly, how to fast track the program, so you can go ahead and get that degree in 6 months or less. So the next thing I want to show you is this resume template that I'm letting people use for free. All you have to do is click the link in the bio, same with the Discord, open it up, click File, click Make a Copy, and then you can start editing it. You're going to want to put all your info here and pretty much change every single thing on here. Tailor the resume to yourself so it's not just a generic bland resume that has skills that you don't actually have or has experience that you actually never performed. You do, however, want to keep the format the exact same. Don't switch stuff around. Don't add color to it. Don't add pictures. Just change the information, the bullet points, your key skills, add your name, that kind of stuff. Then you can use this resume as you're going through your WGU program, adding the certificates as you go along while you're constantly applying and knocking out classes. I highly recommend applying to jobs the whole entire time you're going through WGU. Definitely prioritize the WGU coursework, but you want to take at least an hour to 2 hours a day, in my opinion, just strictly applying to jobs. I would not start applying to jobs, however, before you get the A+, the Network Plus, and the Security Plus certificate, just because those really do help a lot. So anyways, that's a quick rundown of how I entered the cybersecurity field and how I'm helping a lot of other people get into the field quickly. If you have any questions or suggestions, hit me up in my Discord server or comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so we can go ahead and spread this message to other people and help many other people change their life via cybersecurity.